So it was my birthday a couple days ago, which led me to reflect on a bunch of things regarding fascism, of course. Now, Futurism was one of the central themes of Mussolini fascism. If one reads the Doctrine of Fascism by Benito Mussolini, which was actually compiled by a friend of his, but let me get to the point. Is Futurism really an accurate depiction of what fascism stands for in the current sense of the word? The reason why I ask this is this. Much of the things that was futurism in Mussolini's time is now basically the only thing holding it back is capitalist greed and the ignorance of the masses. And part of what spurs that ignorance is calling it futurism. One of the people that I greatly admire is a Russian scientist that goes by the name Maria Konovalenko, and one of her videos on YouTube that everybody should watch is The Dark Matter of Transhumanism. Now, I personally do not refer to myself as a transhumanist anymore. I've referred to myself as a life extensionist because transhumanism has gotten so tied up with political mumbo jumbo and transgenderism and liberalism and libertarianism and all this happy horse shit. But in reality, transhumanism can be traced to a Russian idea called cosmism. And all transhumanism really is working to transcend human frailty through technology. But back to the futurism thing. By calling the seeking of liberation from the limitations placed on us by nature through technology and calling it futurism, we are basically sidestepping the true meaning of what we're trying to do, because it's not futurism. We can do this stuff now. In a previous video, I mentioned desalination and basically terraforming arid regions of the United States. I used as an example, which is all very, we can do that because they do it in Israel and Dubai and Saudi Arabia and elsewhere. So it's not impossible. In fact, colonization of Antarctica would not be impossible. Colonization of other planets, space stations, things of this nature, these are all not only possible, but things that we have seen baby steps towards since the time of the beginning of the Cold War. So why are we calling this futurism? And what I've seen through the calling it a futurism is it attracts the wrong kind of people. It attracts people that aren't really smart enough to be nerds. I may fall into that boat. But are also preoccupied with things like science fiction, fantasy, things of this nature, which takes us more to the kooky level and less, it takes us away from the scientifically minded and hardline political view that is embraced by, was embraced by fascism. Now many fascists, unfortunately, improperly call themselves fascists or fasci, and they've completely thrown away futurism and gone back to this primitivist mindset. Now, I, for one, believe that fascism must embrace classicism. By classicism, I mean embracing the beauty of the aesthetic appeal of the classical world, such as that of the Renaissance era. But you do not want to go back to the Renaissance era. We do not want another plague. We don't want things like that. We need to embrace technology. And in order to do that, we need to, in my opinion, stop calling it futurism and start calling it something else. I would even say progressivism, but that word has been so deeply perverted by the left. I'll think of something.